Hello, my friend, and welcome to Wisdom Trek. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, your guide to wisdom and creating a living legacy. Thank you for joining us for our 5-day-per-week wisdom and legacy building podcast. This is day 594 of our trek, and it is Motivation Monday. We're hiking a series of trails called the Tools in Gramps Backpack. Each Monday, for a total of 20 weeks, we will explore a different tool that is needed to motivate and equip parents and grandparents to train their children and grandchildren to be successful on their own trek of life. If you don't have children or grandchildren of your own, use these tools to train others that you do influence. Today is the 17th tool in Gramps' backpack, and it is love. We are broadcasting from our studios at the Big House in Marietta, Ohio. The previous tool that we explored last Monday was renewal, and we looked at the importance it is for each of us in our lives. With the diagnosis of leukemia in our granddaughter Hazel just over 2 weeks ago, there has been little time for practicing renewal in our lives. The investment of time necessary surrounding this cataclysmic event, this life change as you would, has required that we add many new duties to an already busy schedule. While these 2 weeks have exhausted us both physically and emotionally, it has certainly been a time for reflection on what is truly important. Since we do have a long road ahead of us with this, it will be more important than ever that we invest adequate time in renewal also. As I have reflected on Hazel's illness, I realized that I would do anything I could to take her illness and treatment on me so that she would not have to go through it. I would do this because of my love for Hazel and my desire for her not to go through this time of suffering. Unfortunately, this is not possible. But this does bring to mind the fact that because of his love for us, Christ gave up his life and suffered hell for us that we would not have to. Romans chapter 5 verses 8 and 9 tells us, "But God showed his great love for us by sending Christ to die for us while we were still sinners. And since we have been made right in God's sight by the blood of Christ, he will certainly save us from God's condemnation." Love is the most powerful force in the universe. Unconditional love is the strongest form of love. It is so imperative that we love our children, our grandchildren, and others that we impact with unconditional love, and lots of it. If they see this kind of love demonstrated in our lives, then they will learn to love others unconditionally. So the tool that we'll explore today is love. As we learn of God's love for us and allow it to become part of the very fabric of our lives, we will start to understand and demonstrate that love to others. In Ephesians chapter 3, verses 17 through 19, it gives us a glimpse of the love that God has for us. And it says, "Then Christ will make his home in your hearts as you trust in him. Your roots will grow down into God's love and keep you strong. And may you have the power to understand, as all God's people should, how wide, how long, how high, and how deep his love is. May you experience the love of Christ, though it is too great to understand fully. Then you will be made complete with all the fullness of life and the power that comes from God." Love is what sums up the entire Old Testament laws. Christ leaves us no room for interpretation on this. In Matthew chapter 22, verses 37 through 40, Jesus tells us, Jesus replied, "You must love the Lord your God with all of your heart, all your soul, and all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment, and the second is equally important. Love your neighbor as yourself." The entire law and all the demands of the prophets are based on these two commandments. We are humans, though, and sometimes, despite our best intentions, we do fall short. When we become embittered with ourselves, with our family, with our neighbors, and even with God, we disobey those two short commands that sum up the entire law. We disobey the one who gave his life for us. If we are faithful to God's precepts, we must filter out these negative feelings that separate us from others and from him. 1 Corinthians chapter 13 is considered the love chapter, and we are told that love is the foundation upon which all relationships are built, our relationship with others and our relationship with our Maker. May we fill our hearts with love and filter out the bitterness, jealousy, and hatred that we harbor toward others. God desires for us to emulate, exhibit, and then teach the love that is found in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 4 through 7. Love is patient and kind. Love is not jealous or boastful or proud or rude. It does not demand its own way. It is not irritable. It keeps no record of being wronged. It does not rejoice about injustice, but rejoices whenever truth wins out. Love never gives up, never loses faith, is always hopeful, and endures in every situation. Love is not always giving in to others. For love to be true, it sometimes has to be velvet, and then sometimes it has to be steel. Real love has staying power. Authentic love is tough love. It refuses to look for ways to run away. It always opts for working through whatever issues are causing strife. It is important to know that we have to work to keep love alive. You have to protect it and maintain it, just like you would a delicate flower. And with these thoughts in mind, we will conclude our trek today and close Gramps' Backpack. But before I do, I will pass this tool of love on to you. Once you have this tool in your backpack, it is up to you to learn what real unconditional love is. It is up to you to demonstrate this love to your children, your grandchildren, and then others that you mentor. And it is up to you to also teach this kind of unconditional love to them. When you love God and love others properly, it is then that you'll realize and understand how to live the rich and satisfying life that is available to each of us. Next Monday, we'll investigate the 18th tool in Gramps' Backpack, which is character. On tomorrow's trek, though, we will explore another wisdom quote. This 3-minute wisdom supplement will assist you in becoming healthy, wealthy, and wise each day. Thank you for joining me on this trek that we call life. Encourage your friends and family to join us and then come along with me tomorrow for another day of Wisdom Trek, Creating a Legacy. If you'd like to listen to any of the past daily treks or read their associated journal, they are all available at wisdom-trek.com. You can also subscribe to iTunes or Google Play so that each day's trek will be downloaded to you automatically. And thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide, your mentor, but most importantly, I am your friend as I serve you through the Wisdom Trek podcast and journal. And as we take this trek of life together, let us always live abundantly, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, lend to others generously, lead with integrity, and then leave a living legacy each day. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, reminding you to keep moving forward, enjoy your journey, and then create a great day every day. See you tomorrow.